Today I am making a video that I have been wanting to make for years. This video is for any of you out there who have ever had thoughts about starting your own YouTube channel. I'm going to answer a lot of the common questions that people tend to have about this rather unique career, and I'm even going to show you how to use my favorite tool that, if you do decide to start your own channel, will significantly accelerate your growth. My tips to start your own YouTube channel, coming up next on Tech Talk America. Hey folks, I know there's a lot of other people out there who have made videos about how to start your own YouTube channel, but today I wanted to give it my spin. And the first thing that I wanted to mention is that if you're looking to get into making YouTube videos because you want to be rich or you want to be famous, just stop now, because you will never be happy no matter how many subscribers or how many millions of video views you may get. But what I do love about YouTube is that it gives anyone with a camera and a computer a monetized platform to be able to reach millions of other people out there. Not only that, but unlike pretty much any other industry, you have 100% control over the final product. That's not something you can say usually in television. There is no production studio. There is no production schedule. It's only your schedule. Of course, one of the essential skills that you will need to master if you are looking to produce YouTube videos is video editing. Lucky for you, I have a 90-minute free class all about Final Cut Pro. If you haven't taken it, there's a link down below, or if you're watching me on YouTube, a little link just shot up above my head. One of the great myths about YouTube that I would like to tackle today is this theory that you have to constantly upload videos in order to get an audience. Some people say that you have to upload a video once a week. Other people will tell you that you can get away with every other week. Then there's other people who go on these crazy binges where they will produce 30 videos in 30 days. And you know what happens to them? They burn out. So my point here is, don't work harder, work smarter. This is not television, so there is no normal production schedule. We are dealing with a completely different medium, and that means different rules. While in general, YouTube's algorithm does like to see a regular upload schedule as far as when you release your videos, there are other things that are far more important that will help your videos find their audience. By the way, I wanted to mention, when I was first starting out, I released videos every other week, and that worked just fine for me. If you haven't yet created your first video, I wanted to teach you two little directing tricks that I've used in the past to help people who are new to being on camera. We as human beings have absolutely no trouble with showing expression when looking into the eyes of another person. But a lens has no emotion. It's dark and it's cold. So the first trick that I wanted to share with you is to just try rehearsing your speech in front of your bathroom mirror. This lets you clearly see your own facial expressions so that you can start to memorize them, and that way you become more aware of how you look when you're on camera. Another trick that I've had very good success with is I've had my clients send me a digital photo of one of their loved ones, and then I load that image into my teleprompter. That way, when they're looking at the camera, they're actually looking at something very familiar looking back at them. Now, my teleprompter is nothing fancy. It's basically an iPad that sits in a tray with a slanted one-way mirror behind it. And of course, behind that mirror is the camera. If you're interested in that kind of a solution, there are several different models that are out there to support different types of devices. I'll put links to a couple of them down below in the description of the video. Just be aware, using a teleprompter and having someone's photo there only works if the person who's on camera has memorized their lines. Next tip, don't worry if your first video embarrasses you. I guarantee you, no matter what you do, you will one day eventually look back at that first video and cringe. But hey, we all need to start somewhere. The more important thing is that you actually complete and upload your first video, because just the process of making it, uploading it, keywording it correctly from the back end, which we are going to be talking about today, designing your cover image, all of these things are important to experience so that you can become more used to the process of making YouTube videos. And over time, it'll become second nature to you. One of the most common questions that people have about producing YouTube videos as a career is they want to know around how long is it going to take to get their channel to the point where it's producing a decent income. So this leads me to an interesting point. There are actually several different ways to generate revenue from your YouTube videos. For example, I know plenty of people who will create videos and use YouTube as a tool to push products that they already sell online through their website. And if that applies to you, you should know that there's actually a few other different paths that you can take. For example, some people will create those promotional videos or maybe get some video testimonials and put links where people can follow to purchase those products on a website. Other people will create shorter 30-second videos, which ultimately they will pair up with Google AdWords so that their 30-second video can be played as a commercial in front of someone else's YouTube videos or YouTube channels. If the viewer clicks into it, YouTube then takes that person to their website where they hope to convert that viewer into a customer. Now, these types of people usually don't care as much about building subscribers or generating a lot of content, because for them, this is essentially a way that you can pay to play. You're basically piggybacking on someone else's success. Another very popular method is to simply monetize your videos to allow YouTube to play ads before, during, or after your videos. Now, this is one of those features that you cannot instantly unlock. At least as of the date that I'm recording this video, you need at least 4,000 hours of viewing time and 1,000 subscribers to be able to monetize your videos through Google AdSense. I know that that might sound like a lot to some of you, but I encourage you to keep watching this video because the tool that I'm about to teach you will dramatically boost your numbers and make that process a lot easier. I have a quick story that I wanted to share with all of you. So a few years after I started my YouTube channel, I eventually hit the magical number of 75,000 subscribers, which at the time was amazing. And shortly after that, I received an email from an actual human being at YouTube who told me that he had been assigned to my account, and over the next several months, we worked together via multiple remote sessions. And this gentleman basically trained me and showed me everything that I was doing right and a lot of what I was doing wrong. And a lot of what you're going to learn in this video stems from those conversations. So I hope you really enjoy this class. In a moment, we are going to switch over to my Mac so that I can show you what YouTube's algorithm is really searching for. And I wanted to let you know that my screen may look a little bit different from what you see on yours, because I use a third-party tool to help me see into the algorithm. This tool can dramatically help grow your following, and while it isn't totally inexpensive, you have to look at this as an investment. The name of this product, which is technically speaking a service, is called VidIQ. And if you'd like to try it out, there is a link down below in the description of the video. For full disclosure, I have decided to become an affiliate of VidIQ, so if you do click on that link, think of it as a simple way of supporting my YouTube channel. So what is VidIQ? VidIQ is an extension for your web browser that pulls back the veil that is YouTube's algorithm to show you little things that it's looking for. It then ranks your video and gives it a score based on what it sees, thus giving you the opportunity to make any necessary changes and see your score improve in real time. I myself subscribe to the annual plan, and I consider this to be a very necessary work expense. Another very quick story. So I have this client of mine who I have worked with several times. Hey, Jimmy. And this is a gentleman who works with another gentleman who has become a very well-known sports star. And the reality of athletes is that their career is pretty small. And the ones that are smart tend to take advantage of their time in the spotlight to build something that they can continue and pursue after their athletic career is over. So we did a lesson together, and I walked Jimmy through VidIQ so that he could better understand what YouTube was looking for, and then we used it to improve a lot of his older videos. 48 hours later, I received a text message containing this screenshot from his analytics. At this point, let's switch to my Mac. Let's start with talking about the title of your video. While YouTube allows for up to 100 characters including spaces, in general you want to try to keep your title to around 70 characters. The reason for this is because anything beyond that amount will be lost in most search results. One resource you might want to consider bookmarking is the website trends.google.com, which is a website where you can search for different keywords and see how they compare against each other. I use this all the time when coming up with the titles for my videos. The next trick is to make sure that all of the words that are contained in your title also appear within the first 2 lines of your video's description. When analyzing your video's description from an SEO standpoint, these first 120 characters are critical. So try to make sure that it not only contains the title, but also any other important keywords that you'll want to make sure are associated with your video. My next trick is what you see here. I tried my best, although I'm not perfect, to put a reminder to everyone to subscribe to my channel in the video description right after those first few lines. The bell is the bell emoji, and if you want to get access to that, you can just simply secondary click on your Mac and select emoji and symbols. You may have also noticed that I decided to put an emoji in the title. This just makes your video stand out a little bit. There is absolutely an art to using emoji, and you should seriously consider incorporating emoji design into the description of your videos. You can also creatively use any special characters or symbols on your keyboard in order to style your video's description. I wanted to show you an example of someone who I think has done a really good job at designing their video description. So this is the YouTube channel called Yoga with Adriene. This woman has had amazing success with her channel, and I wanted to show you her video description. So notice here, she's got it written a little bit like a blog. There's a couple of different hashtags that are there, and then look at how she creatively and very cleanly distributes emoji throughout the description of her video. So it's very, very easy to read. Good job, Adriene, and I'm guessing Team Adriene. For the body of your video description, you really want to try to write this like a short blog article. Anytime you provide a hyperlink, unless that link is naturally very short, it's always a good idea to use a Shortlink service. In my case, I use Bitly, mostly because it's free. Don't be afraid to throw a few hashtags into your description as well. In general, the magic number seems to be around 3. In fact, check this out. Let's switch over to the front end version of this video, that being the version that all of you can see on YouTube, and you will see those same 3 hashtags now appear above the title on my video. Towards the bottom of your description, you want to give your fans access to all of the links to your various social media accounts so they have a way to find you. For those of you out there who intend on making longer videos, one thing you might consider doing is putting the time code of different chapters inside your video. For example, here you can see I list all the different chapters inside my Final Cut Pro class, and when I switch back to the front end, check this out. All of those time codes are clickable so that the viewer can skip ahead to different sections. This next section is super important, so let's slow down just for a minute and talk about keywords. Now, I can't tell you how many people I've worked with who only take the time to put a couple of keywords and then they just think they're done. No. YouTube allows up to 500 characters in this field, and you should be using every single one of them available. And I have to say, this is one of the areas where VidIQ really gets to shine. Now, granted, right now you're looking at my screen, and I've already created and perfected all of my keywords. But just for a moment, let's delete what's here so I can show you how to use this tool. There are several different ways that you can use this tool actually to find keywords. So one method is you could literally just go to a competitor's video. So for example, if I'm looking for videos on Final Cut Pro, I could just go to the #1 video. Okay, make that #2 video, go into that video, and with vidIQ's extension running in the background, here I can see every single keyword and keyword phrase that this person used. And if you look at this little paperclip icon, with one click, I can copy and paste all of their tags from their video into my video. Now, for full disclosure, I would never, ever recommend blindly copying and pasting all of someone's keywords. Some of them, sure, but definitely not all of them. So just skim through and keep the good ones and remove the ones that are irrelevant and replace them with ones that are more relevant. By the way, one thing I wanted to mention is you should always be putting your name and or your channel's name as keywords in your video. And if you happen to be a local business, make sure you put your city or state or whatever, just so that way if someone's looking for businesses in that area, you want to make sure you pop up. You might even want to consider putting your zip code as one of your keywords. Another option is to click here into the VidIQ inspector, which allows me to very quickly add related keywords. So if I search for Final Cut Pro here, I can just very quickly click on these little plus buttons next to any of these keywords or phrases, and it will automatically add them into my video. Fun fact, did you know that YouTube doesn't allow you to tell your audience to actually watch the ads? By the way, in a totally unrelated story, they don't say anything about informing your audience that if they do hit the skip button, you don't get paid. We'll be right back. Before we resume, I just wanted to say very quickly that one of the main reasons why I love making my YouTube videos is that I get to hear back from people from literally all over the world about how my videos have affected them. Whether they've learned a new skill that got them a job. I've received letters from veterans with PTSD who find learning from me easy because my voice is so soothing. And seniors who learn how to use their computer because of my videos and because their grandkids are too impatient. To all of those people, I just wanted to let you know how much I do appreciate your letters over the years and for taking your time to give me some feedback. I personally really hate email, but if you'd ever like to share your story with me, there's the P.O. Box. Picking up where we left off, yet another thing that you can do to improve how your videos rank is to add them into playlists. Up here on the right-hand side, you'll see my option to add this video into a playlist, or if I want, I can actually create a playlist from here. In general, YouTube's algorithm does like to see videos in around 3 to 4 playlists, so get creative when you're coming up with the names for your playlists. And please note that after you've created your playlist, there is still another step, which is to make those playlists visible on your channel's homepage. So for example, if we go to mine, you can see here that I've created playlists for Mac Essentials classes, apps to get organized, learning video production, short videos that are under 5 minutes, and even a playlist for photography. You get the idea. Keep in mind that part of the goal with YouTube is to get people to not watch just one video, but several videos. So playlists help encourage that and show the connection between different videos. At this point, let's talk about some of the other things that YouTube's algorithm is searching for. So let's now switch over and start talking about cards and end screens. Cards are a relatively new feature to YouTube, and cards appear at the top right of the user's screen whenever they're watching your videos on YouTube. Cards can have a few different functions. For example, they can take the viewer to another video or another playlist of videos. It can take the viewer to a different YouTube channel, which can be very helpful whenever you're collaborating with other creators. It can take the viewer to a page on your website. It can take them to a poll, which actually I'm going to do right now. I need your opinion, people, because I didn't get the style gene. So let me ask you this. Do I keep this background the way it is, or do I paint everything white? Right now, I'm kind of leaning towards painting everything white, but hey, let's see what all of you have to say. In general, the rule of thumb for cards is that YouTube's algorithm likes to see between 2 to 3 cards per video. Let's now switch over to end screens. This feature applies to the last 20 seconds of your video. During this period, you can try to get your viewers to click in to watch another video, subscribe to your channel, link to a different YouTube channel, or link them to your website. What's very important to know here is that this does also work on mobile. So if you look at this image here, you'll notice that we have 3 end screens, 2 of which lead to other videos, and the subscribe button, which we're going to come back to in a moment. Let me delete one of these end screens so that you can see what it really looks like. See, there is no actual video here. This part gets layered in from the back end of YouTube. I want to show you a little trick about that subscribe button. So just to be clear, that image that you see there is the same image that you see here on my YouTube channel's homepage. It's called my channel icon. And whenever you're creating your YouTube channel, there are a bunch of different types of images and graphics that you're going to need. I'll recommend a solution for that in a minute, but the point that I wanted to make here is that if you notice, I decided to actually put the word subscribe on that graphic. And the reason is pretty simple, because otherwise it's just a logo with no call to action. Now, this solution isn't for everyone. Of course, there is an alternative, which is that you could put some sort of indicator on your video, whether it's animated arrows or just some sort of verbiage, so that your viewers know that they can, in fact, click on that icon to subscribe to your YouTube channel. There's one other service that I thought you might find useful that I thought I'd mention in this video, which is a service that I've used now for over a year called Envato Elements. This works a little different. It's not at all like VidIQ. Envato Elements is basically a subscription service. You can either sign up month to month or for an annual membership. In this case, I would tend to recommend the month-to-month membership and ultimately cancel it after one. What this basically gives you access to is a massive collection of graphics, sound effects, templates, logos, basically everything that you need to start making a YouTube channel. And basically the way it works is you can download as much content as you want, and technically you have the rights to use that content even after you cancel your membership. So you might want to consider using this, sign up for a month, binge, download a ton of stuff, and then cancel your membership. For those of you out there who have seen my class on Final Cut Pro, you may remember me mentioning about creating an assets folder, those little types of files that you tend to use in every single video. This is a great service for assembling that type of a folder. Having a custom cover image, also known as a thumbnail, is absolutely critical. It's like the cover to a book. While it doesn't change the content, it does sell the book, which in this case is you getting someone out there to click on your video instead of your competitor. The first thing, which you should probably write down, is the dimension of what this image needs to end up being, which is 1280 by 720. Now, there are several different ways that you can create this image. First, you are going to need some sort of image manipulation software, whether that is Pixelmator, Affinity, Photoshop, or there's online resources like canva.com. Pick whichever is best for you. Personally, I'm a big fan of both Pixelmator and Affinity, only because there's no subscription fee and they're both really inexpensive. While there are many different styles and techniques that people use to create their cover images, ultimately the style that you choose should match your audience. So my advice is to see what other people in your category are using for their cover images and then use that as a general guide. I hope this video motivates you to get out there and start making video content. Like a lot of people out there, when I first started making YouTube videos, this was all a hobby. And then eventually, over time, as I learned more about how it worked, it morphed into my full-time job. And looking back, I could never go back to a normal job. I know there's a lot of people out there who would freak out by not having a predictable paycheck, but that's the reason why you transition this into a career. If you have other questions about starting your own YouTube channel, or if you just want someone to help coach you on your channel, I hope you'll consider taking a private lesson with me. It's one of the things that I really do enjoy doing when I have some free time. Finally, I hope you'll take a moment to leave a comment down below and let me know, did this video help you? If you already have a YouTube channel, let us know about your experience. And if you are totally new to this stuff, let us know what your idea for your future YouTube channel is. Who knows, you might get some great feedback from other people in the comments. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. This is David A. Cox with Tech Talk America. Class dismissed.